Good evening, people, and welcome to the second episode of the Vantage Point. Today being the 13th day of October 2017. Today on the second episode of the Vantage Point, we'll still be talking football. We'll be looking at the games that will take place all over Europe this weekend. We'll look at some of the games that will take place in the English Premiership, the most followed league in the world, and then we'll also preview some of the games taking place in the German Bundesliga and the Italian Serie A. So that's basically what we'll be doing on the show today. Last weekend was, of course, the FIFA free window, and there were World Cup qualifiers all over the globe. There was so much drama all over the world. Argentina finally qualified for the Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup. Of course, most of us were beginning to think that there was going to be a World Cup without Lionel Messi, but that was stopped as Argentina was able to find a way to Russia. I personally did celebrate the qualification of Argentina for the Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup. Also, at the other end of the spectrum, Portugal, led by Cristiano Ronaldo, trying to avoid the European playoffs, finally did peep Switzerland to top spot in their group and qualified ahead of Switzerland on goals difference, and also made their way to Russia 2018 FIFA World Cup. Arjen Robben finally quit international football. The Netherlands could not make it to Russia, and he decided that it was time to say bye to the Dutch Orange, and he did beat his game against Sweden was his last for the Netherlands after amassing about 93 or so caps. So yes, back to what we'll have to do today. We'll be looking at the games taking place all over the globe. We'll begin with England. In the English Premier League this weekend, Liverpool and Manchester United is an early game kickoff tomorrow, the 14th day of October 2017. It's a game that will take place at 12:30 p.m. It's a game that has all the trappings of a big game encounter. Liverpool will be hosting Manchester United at Anfield. People all over the globe will tune in to see how that one pans out. Manchester United has an injury problem with Paul Pogba, so they definitely will be missing Paul Pogba in the midfield. So we'll just want to see how Jose Mourinho is able to alter, the team so that they can contain Liverpool at Anfield and possibly get maximum points. Of course, fans of United will hope that United goes the whole hog in getting maximum points. One will be thinking that perhaps he would play Fellaini, Herrera, and Mata in that middle in the absence of Pogba. But then you never know. Jose is, I call him the wily fox, so he may just have one or two ideas up his sleeves. And we just want to throw certain surprises on the day. So that game, it's the first game for tomorrow, and like I said, it's a 12:30 p.m. kickoff at Anfield. Manchester United and Liverpool. Liverpool, they've been, neither here nor there, a win, a draw, and that's just been how their season have played out so far. But then they may just want to stabilize, beginning with the game against United in their home at Anfield. And of course, Mohamed Salah is firing on all cylinders. The guy is smoking hot. He just helped Edu qualify for the World Cup last weekend. So he's coming back with so much confidence and would want to lead the Anfield Giants and get maximum points against Manchester United. Having said that, look at the next game. Before we look at the next game, of course, it's also important to mention that Sadio Mane will not be playing for Liverpool tomorrow because Sadio Mane is out for about 6 weeks with an injury. Chelsea will be traveling to take on Crystal Palace. I think it's Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace has not won a game this season. Crystal Palace has not has even fired their coach. And they have a new gaffer. So Roy Hodgson is a new gaffer of Crystal Palace. So Crystal Palace would want to kickstart their season tomorrow against Chelsea. But then Chelsea wouldn't want to drop points against Crystal Palace because already Chelsea is trying to play catch up with the Manchester clubs, United and City. Chelsea haven't lost their first game of the season to Burnley, 2-3 defeats. And then, of course, they dropped points against City, where they also lost to City, and also drew with Arsenal. So 7 points already have been thrown away this season. So Crystal Palace, which is a team that other teams have gotten maximum points off, Chelsea would equally want to do similar when they take on Crystal Palace tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's a game most people all over the globe, also particularly Chelsea fans, want to tune in and see what Chelsea can make out of that encounter. Manchester City, tabletoppers Manchester City, will be hosting Stoke City at the Etihad. It's a game, or on paper you would say that it's plain sailing for Manchester City. And Manchester City would garner maximum points, would beat Stoke City. But then Stoke City have proven time and time again, over the years, that it could be spoilers. Manchester United dropped points this season when they played Stoke. That's been the only point United has dropped this season. When they played a 2-2 draw against Stoke with Hesse and the Egyptian, what's his name now? With Hesse and is it Egyptian? Okay, no, and the Cameroonian Choupo-Moting getting the goods for Stoke City. So it's one game that you just can say it's going to be plain sailing for Manchester City, because Stoke will just decide to throw spanners in the works for City and get a point of the encounter. So yeah, Manchester City and Stoke, it's another interesting encounter to look up to tomorrow. Then it's also a 3 p.m. kickoff game. Then later in the day, Arsenal travels to Vicarage Road to play Watford. Arsenal is a very unpredictable team. Will Arsenal get 3 points? Will Arsenal play out a draw? One never tells. One can never say. Already there's even the contractual issue of Mesut Ozil and Alexis Sanchez still dominating headlines, sporting headlines. And we hear that Sanchez will be departing in January. We don't know whether he'll be going to the Etihad to join forces with City. Only time will tell. Ozil seems to say that he's going to commit his future to Arsenal, but then again, that's still speculations. We'll just have to wait and see what happens in the winter transfer come January. So I guess those are the games most football buffs will be looking forward to tomorrow in the English Premiership. Liverpool and Manchester United at 12:30, Chelsea and Crystal Palace at 3, Man City and Stoke at 3, and then Arsenal and Watford at 5. In Germany, Borussia Dortmund will play RB Leipzig. That's an interesting encounter. Interesting in the sense that both of them are Champions League teams from Germany. So they are the big wigs from the German Bundesliga. And RB Leipzig, they finished second last season in the German Bundesliga, and they want to show this season that their performances of last season was no fluke. RB Leipzig has very interesting players who can hold their own any day, anytime. There's a certain Guinean called Naby Keita. He seems to be the powerhouse, the engine room of the Leipzig team. So it's a game most of you would want to tune in to watch and see how that one plays out. Would Dortmund get maximum points over Leipzig, or would Leipzig get maximum points over Dortmund, or will they share the spoils? It's going to be one hell of an encounter. And then, of course, in Italy, AS Roma will play Napoli. AS Roma and Napoli. AS Roma is in the Champions League, and of course they're going to be playing Chelsea next week in the UEFA Champions League. So they will just want to use this game to build up confidence preparatory to their game against Chelsea. I know the Rome-based team will want to get maximum points off Naples-based side. Napoli has not had it good, or let me put it this way, they've not had it excellent since the days of Diego Maradona in the late 80s to the early 90s, when Napoli dominated Italian football. Ever since then, Napoli has not really reached those heights. So, will this season be Napoli's big season again? We'll wait and see what happens in their game against Roma. And then also in Italy, Juventus will host SS Lazio. SS Lazio is also a Rome-based outfit. They'll be traveling to Turin to play Juventus at the at Juve's ground. The old lady of Turin are European, powerhouses. European bigwigs. So tomorrow's game against Roma is a game where against SS Lazio is a game where Juventus will want to get maximum points, taking into consideration that they also have Champions League encounter next week. So these are the games that would attract attention all over Europe that football buffs would want to watch. I failed to mention Monaco takes on Lyon tonight in the French Ligue 1. So that'll be an interesting one. Taking into consideration the fact that Monaco lost a lot of stellar players in the summer transfer. Bernardo Silva went to Manchester City. Bernard Mendy also followed him to Manchester City. Tiémoué Bakayoko joined Chelsea. So Monaco lost a lot of big names, but they've been able to still hold their own. Of course, Mbappe even went to PSG. But despite this losses, Monaco has been able to still keep their heads above water, and they posted some impressive results this season in the French Ligue 1. So yeah, Monaco and Lyon tonight is a game I would also encourage us all to tune in and watch. So I guess this is just about what we have to talk about today on the second episode of the Vantage Points. I hope you enjoyed my presentation and analysis of the games for this weekend. I would encourage you to to drop your reviews on across all social media platforms where I would post this video. I will be looking forward to reading you. On Twitter, I'm Neydu Wordsmith. On Facebook, Neydu Wordsmith. On Instagram, Neydu Wordsmith. On YouTube, Neydu Wordsmith. So it's Neydu Wordsmith across all social media platforms. Bye-bye. God bless. I'm looking forward to seeing you next time.